finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
They're back. Hi again, everyone, and welcome back here to PTA Racing TV. We're live here today and night, depending on where you're watching this. Good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. Doesn't matter where you're from. We're here now to watch some hard-fought racing, some hard, clean-cut, all-out, out-of-control racing that the Pushing Limits Racing League has been known to bring to the table. And tonight is no different. We are at Talladega Superspeedway with the Legacy NASCAR Truck Series, the first race of Season 3. Hi everyone, I am Christian, the Crusader Driver, the host with the voice of PTM Racing TV, as most of you may refer to me as sometimes. We're looking at our starting lineup out of the gate here. You know what to do. Let's take a look at the starting lineup in the field. Brandon Pike, the 12, is your number 1 qualifier. It is outside. Nick Kern, the 69. Row 2, it's Matthew Hartford, the 84. It is outside. That's Cindy, the closer, Taylor, in the 67. The 07. Row number 3 is going to be Keith Checkmate Taylor, the 08, and it is outside. Robert, the Rattlesnake, on the 21. Row 4, Dustin Sonaker will be in the 66, is outside. The Throttle, Shen, Tell, Pottle. Row number 5, Derek G. Gann, the 51, is outside. Old Stanley Chadwick Bottle, the 48. Row 6, Torrey Thompson, the 88, is outside. Making his television debut, ladies and gentlemen, 17, Philip Brown. Our final starters here tonight. Torrey will be Wally Babb, the 099, is outside. Jeffrey Todd Tufts, the 72, your final qualifier of the field. The field set in motion. We're ready to get down to the first leg of the race here, our first race of the season. This looks to be a hot fight, hot show kind of racing night. There's going to be a lot of heavy hitters and a lot of heavy racing throughout this race and throughout this event. And I guarantee you one thing, everybody is going to be dead set focused on trying to keep their distance, trying to keep their speed up. Remember, these are not your normal Gander Outdoor Truck Series, from the Chevrolets to the Ford F-150s to the Toyota Tundras. Oh, no, no. This is literally the Legacy NASCAR Truck Series, and this is honestly probably going to be one of the toughest truck series to handle and manage. I'll tell you one thing, I was driving down there earlier today, and these things, they felt like I was trying to drive one of those 1987 Chevrolet Monte Carlos or the Ford Thunderbirds. They were extremely tricky to handle and master, and they were definitely a bit of a handful to say the least. We're going to see if that is the same case here tonight with 35 laps clocked in. Drivers are preparing to go to war here, ready to go down and do a battle here. They are set for the very first opener of Season 3 Pushing Limits Racing League is looking to set the tone, set the pace. 14 of the best drivers come to the show. They come from all parts, from the United States to the Newfoundland areas to the Canadian regions. Our friends, we welcome you to PT Race TV and the very first showing, Season 3 of Pushing Limits Racing League. Here we go across to the front straightaway. It is time to go racing here at Talladega. Right out of the gate, we're going to start them off here, side by side, double filing them up here, 2 by 2, maybe 3 by 2 now, I suppose. Here we go. Looks like Chantel, the throttle bottle, looking for a piece already in the number 5. She tries to march her way through with the 84 Gatorade Chevrolet Silverados. After you offer, wait a minute, Silverado Chevrolet. I'm going to be saying that all day, ain't I? They're all Silverado Chevrolets. I got a lot of folks already yelling at me in the producer's booth here. It's not my fault I forgot they were all Chevrolets. I would keep using saying they used to be the Ford F-150s Toyota Tundras, all right? Right out of turn 4 they go here. Nick Kern will lead the start. The X-Side 69 currently holding down the line, holding down the fort, trying to keep his field of Conrads in play and trying to keep the drivers at day. On board here with Brandon Pike at the number 12. You can see the draft line on these things is going to be very sophisticated. You got a lot of speed, a lot of power under that hood, but here's the problem. When you're trying to make those passes, unless you got a good runoff, it's very difficult to get the push just right. And one thing I have noticed as well is that unlike trucks in those Xfinity cars, you really have to actually push a little bit with these things. Now that doesn't seem so bad at first when you think about it, but if you've actually driven one of these things and you remember what I said a minute ago, when they drive like they're the 87s out there, yeah, let's just say pushing with these things, let's leave that out of the question and let's try not to. Believe me, it is not worth it if you try it. It is just not worth it. It will get so loose, they will crash on you, and you have to be the slightest tap, the gentlest taps, to even get anything to stick in control. Ken Crawford saying, loose trucks. Cannot wait to be back in the booth with you soon, bud. Ken, good to have you back on board here in the comments section, my friend. Hope you're doing okay down there. As we go on the onboard camera here tonight, our very first look at the 17, Mr. Philip Brown on the show. The American trying to possibly show up what he can do here tonight. Maybe make a performance for himself out of the gate. So far, a pretty steady position and pretty good run off on the corners. But again, how long does that last him and how well will that last him here? As you see a little 3 wide salute action in the back of the pack here. That's the 48 of Old Stanley Puddle in the middle, while the outside of him is a 0-8 of Keith Checkmate Taylor. The bottom of the sandwich, that is, of course, Wally Babb, the 099, rocking a little Marlboro out here tonight. Trying to pull a little bit of a Winston Cup out here. Oh, and this is not what you wanted to see out of the start. Stanley Bottle crashed in there, a little love tap. It looked like that was by Keith Taylor. And the field wrecks out of turn 1. Big wreck, and a caution flag flies. First caution of the night here, coming down into lap 4 here. They will back her down, boys and girls. Back her down, back her down. You gotta slow these things up once in a while, guys. You can't just drive them in all the way to the end. You gotta ease into this a little bit. Take a look at this one here. One other look at it, coming down that front straightaway again. You can see where Keith was trying to get a run there, trying to get a little bit of speed built up. He had the number 3 right behind him. Unfortunately, though, didn't quite work out as well as they were hoping for. And you see right there, old Stanley Powell, he had nowhere to go. He was caught in the middle of it, got crashed in, and just could not get out of his own way. He was already loose going through the corners here. Let's take a look at his onboard camera. Very subtle turning, very subtle movements. Did you see that little quick turn right there? It already got the rear end all cockeyed and out of shape. And that little tap right there that Keith gave, that was just enough to really send the rear end completely away from you. Think of it like a monster truck. If you lost rear steering and it went one way to the other and you're going at speeds these guys are going, that's about what it's like there. That's what, it just doesn't feel like that. Also, just a little heads up as well for you fans at home wondering who is driving the number 3. Well, it's supposed to be the 21 of Robert Kahn, but As the reoccurring joke goes around here, Khan seems to forget what his number is, and he decides to kind of hit up some old school scheme numbers out there, which I guess I can't blame him. I mean, if anything, if you were going to drive a number and you had to choose a scheme, why would you not want to go with maybe the most legendary scheme that has ever graced any plate track, much less Talladega and Daytona? That number 3 is a widespread phenomenon, and it really is, in my opinion, the plate track king. Yeah, people could come at me about Jeff Gordon and all that, but let's be honest here, man. Dale Earnhardt, when he drove that number 3, it seemed like he actually could see the wind just literally transferring over on his truck or his car, and he could just literally gravitate with it and build it up so well, better than I think any driver could have. So, in my opinion, that's just the way I see it. That's the way I look at it. But nevertheless, here as our field continues to go into pit road, give everyone a little clean get and go. Nick Kern, Brandon Pike, Dustin Slicker, Keith Checkmate Taylor, and Robert Kahn all stay out while the rest of the field go in for a little splash of gas and some tires. So looking back at our field right now, currently again, Nick Kern, probably maybe the most dominant driver on the dirt series when it came for the Pushing Limits Racing League. Certainly showed to quite a few folks out there how to play the game and how to really run it out there. But there is one thing he definitely struggled with, and that was when he was on to the Pedal to Metal Racing League Dirt Series. He did not quite get the same kind of track, same kind of momentum. I actually had the honor of working with him and racing him a little bit, and I can tell you one thing. He's tough to the very end. He'll bump and run you a little bit, but he has no problem running you as clean as it gets, and he can certainly put up a fight. That is for sure. So our field getting ready to come back around, and actually just a little fun fact here tonight, folks, for those at home that don't know, I was told earlier today by Chantel Pottle, who was in that number 5, that's actually the very first scheme that her and her company Potts Wraps ever came up with, if you can believe it. That is the very first one. She said it did not. She said it took her a lot longer to figure out how to get these things to look a little bit better and a little more creative, but she says she's not dissatisfied with any of her work. She's glad she was able to start somewhere and start fresh, and it definitely, in my opinion, it's not a bad scheme by any means. I think that's honestly a pretty cool looking ride. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's no 69X side machine, but I mean, you can't have a throwback all the time, guys. Come on now. Our season 4 champion of the Pedal Metal Racing League Xfinity Series, Robert Dudley, joins us in. What's up? He's here with us now. I swear he only puts that in the comment section because he wants to hear me say that. I swear, man, he loves it when I can have a little bit of fun with him and kind of mess with these guys. Looks like the old rattlesnake Robert Kahn decided to head into pit road. I don't know if this is going to be a strategy on the tires or fuel run, but it seems to be his game plan. So, laps winding down, though. Remember, these drivers are on a time limit. Yes, you may have seen right as we started, there was a time limit there that was popping up. We keep forgetting that our little overlay system decided to just change and remove some of our stuff. We need to save some of that stuff back, producers. You better be listening to me on that. But nevertheless, here, there's one thing we'll never change back is our love for the sport and love for the racing that comes with it. And honestly, Pushing Limits, kind of, in my opinion, has kind of revigorated that love in a way, because again, this is not a one and done series. Like, this isn't you run series in a multiple tracks. No. No, what they does is they will take a one car, one vehicle or truck or track or whatever you want to say, and they will go to that one specific track for only that race, which means that very next races they will take a different car out. So tonight we are in the Legacy of Truck series. Next week, we could be in a super late model at Iowa Speedway. Or, get even crazier, we could be in a Pro 2 light truck at USA International Speedway, the oval circuit, on dirt. And if you really want to get crazy, we could be throwing, I don't know, some dirt stocks at Bark River. Yeah, stay tuned for that one. That one is actually happening. Don't worry, I'm not making these up, folks. Most of what I just said is true and legitimate. You will be seeing this popping up on our show when the time comes, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to watch all of it and really broadcast it to you live. And you can only get it when you come in and tune on into PTM Racing TV. If you wish to, please support our show by following and liking us up here on the Facebook live session. And also head over to YouTube and subscribe there for more great content. This race will be there in its entirety at the very end of this race. And speaking at the very end of this race here, I think everybody's waiting for the truck to pull off the grid and go back into his hidey hole down in pit road. And just let these drivers get down and down dirty and have a little fun at Talladega. Track so well known for its history and its just overall presentation it brings to every driver that dare walk through its doors and walk out on the track. They all are looking for the same thing here as they come down to the front straightaway, appearing for the green flag to run out. We're back underway. It's go time at Talladega. Here we go, off the charge, down turn one we go. The 69 Nick Kern has the early advantage, but Brandon Pike, the Monster Energy, number 12, looking to possibly change that around as we got a little bit of trouble. Coming through turn 1 and 2. Big wreck right into the pale of the pack. And everybody all into a big goulash and a big wreck. Philip Brown crashed in big time there. He is stuck in the wall. There's no way of getting out of that. Second caution of the night. We weren't even off the start. Yikes. What on earth happened here? Let's take a look at the PTM Instant Replay once again. I don't even know what happened. I just know right out of the start that was not how you start a race, my friends. How did this happen? Let's take a look, see if we can get an eye view up here from the chopper cam. I'm seeing a few possible contenders. And I'd say maybe it might have been 08. Oh yeah, right there. Whoa, 08. Did he blow the motor? I think the motor just quit on him. I think the motor literally quit on Keith Checkmate Taylor there, folks. I can't tell you, but it sounds like the motor went. He was going down that front straightaway. You heard the truck. He was going in hot, but he did not go in for fixing the damage up. That may have affected the truck too much. No, it didn't affect the motor, actually. What the problem was is he missed the shift. He was trying to shift in, and everybody else was trying to shift up as well. And unfortunately, Keith gets the wrong end of that one. Holy smokes. What a tough break. Roll checkmate there. That is definitely not what you want to see have happen. And a reminder for you folks at home as well, these guys and gals, they do not get any breathers. They only get 3 instant repairs. So you break those down and lose them, that's your own fault. You're done. Ken Crawford saying missed a shift. Yep, he certainly missed a shift, all right. That's one thing for the youngsters to learn out there. Do not ever miss your shift, whether it be on the cars themselves or the trucks when you're racing, or as to go to work. Never in your life miss a shift. Just go in, do your job, and work hard for that American dream, my friends. Or if you're Canadian, then what is it? They do a little they look for the I don't know what they do down there. Do they just work for the maple syrup? They're bringing wait, they're bringing home the bacon. That's right, they're bringing home the bacon. Just don't miss a shift, my fellow Canadians, and bring home the bacon. I have a feeling right now that Stanley Pottle, Chantel Pottle, and Jeffrey Todd Tufts are probably either laughing too hard at me or thinking I am literally the weirdest one out of the bunch that probably talked to here. Oh well, it's not like it gets any easier. That's all I can say. So right now, field currently under caution. I think they're trying to get everybody back out quickly. They do not want to waste time. That was one thing I was told earlier this day, is that they do not like wasting time anymore. They want to get drivers out and they want to get back to the racing as soon as possible. One downside though right now is you got that 17 of Philip Brown currently still getting towed out because of the fact he was stuck in the wall protection in turn 2. There's one thing that a lot of folks don't know about is unfortunately there's a glitch, and that actually is kind of around the turn 2 wall outside area. And it's very easy to get stuck in there and kind of jammed in between. There's not a lot of ways to get out of there. And I'll tell you one thing, man, that is a bad omen to be stuck up there and be stuck in that position, because it almost is like just a gut-wrenching heartbreaking defeat, because it's like, now what do? You got no way of getting out of there. You're trying to get back out on the track and race with these guys and gals, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So our field stretching out right now here. And again, I did mention earlier on some of the greats that have eluded the sport. I mentioned earlier on, of course, old Dale Earnhardt, his son Junior as well, is very well known with Talladega. Very well respected. Well, of course, Jeff Gordon, very well known on the plate tracks. Talladega, really, to me, wasn't quite his track. He was more of a Daytona kind of guy, if you ask me. But he certainly could put up a fight here at Talladega. Of course, we cannot forget about our late great friends and all those that have come forth, from the Flock brothers to Davey and Bobby Allison, to, of course, the Pettys, Richard and Kyle, as well as Lee Petty. So many greats that have transferred in here, and of course, this track was really created and built on the foundation of Big Bill France. He was the one that started it all. Which, again, you may have heard my story earlier on about how actually it was originally wasn't even supposed to be here in Talladega County, Alabama. Actually, it was supposed to be down somewhere in the middle of North Carolina, and I believe a little bit farther south of it. It was supposed to be somewhere in there. That's where they were originally planning to put the track at, but it ended up kind of going more towards the air base that has been left to rot out, and they needed something to do with it. So Big Bill France finally came up with the right idea and just said, all right, we're going to go ahead and build a track. We're going to buy the airfield, and I'm going to have a lot of flat land surface to then build my masterpiece. And here it is now. And if we have time, I'll tell you a little bit of story about that first race at Talladega, although it's not all happy sunshine and rainbows. Let's just say that. You see the field getting ready to come back around right now. You see Todd Tufts and Phillip Brown all going ahead of the field, trying to get back on the lead lap as the pace lights are off on the pace truck. We're ready to get back to the action here with only 24 laps remaining. Robert Dudley saying that stunk. Yeah, that was not very good, my friend. But hey, at the end of the day, I mean, it happens to the best of us. I've missed plenty of shifts. I've missed them on dirt, which is my landscape, my home. That's like I've done it plenty of times. So here we go. Pace truck coming down across the infield and back into pit road. Rev the motors up, boys and girls. Get them hot, get them ready. And make sure you have your foot on that clutch, because you're going to need it on this restart. Out of the front straightaway here to the restart zone. This time to push some limits and push the pedal to the metal on PTM Race TV. Out of the gate, off the hole shot. Dustin Sonaker. The 66 has an early advance here, but the 88, Torrey Thompson, looks to possibly sneak his way across there. The 66 trying to avoid any contact. As is that 88 machine, trying to rock a little bit of that camo green down there. That's the old Army Brat Killers there. That is a beautiful looking ride for how simple it is. As they go 3 wide, slow down the back straightaway. Not a place you want to be at as a rattlesnake. Robert Cohen looks to possibly make a move off or two, trying to hold them all back. They continue to 3 wide, clearing it out into turn 3. At the 88, Torrey Thompson getting put back a little bit by the 5 as Chantel the throttle paddle. But it is Nick Kern who still holds the race lead, has yet to forfeit or give any ground to them, does not want to lose it just yet. He brings it down the front straightaway here with the 5 as Chantel looking to try to overtake him. Every driver for themselves around here, as we put it. And the 07, Cindy the Colter Taylor, maybe having a little bit of fun putting the Gatorade 07 a little more up close and personal with the 12 of Brandon Pike. I'm not so sure he was very appreciative of that. I don't know if he wanted anything to do with it. Back around the corners, through the stretches, through the runs, through the roads we go. That's one nice thing about Talladega, you gotta admit. You can at least see where the white lines are around here. It's like an actual street race. Only thing is you're going about, what are we going at about 190 miles per hour? Well, I'll be darned. Their top speeds are only hitting about 189, 191 at the highest. That's what the draft will be. Usually these trucks can pull off about 192, 195, but the legacy versions may not be the same fit there, if you will. I'm definitely curious to see what happens when we put a car of tomorrow out on the track. And come to think of it, did Pushing Limits give us a car of the tomorrow for this season? I got to look this up now because I really want to know. I think they did. I don't know. That's like one of the other series we have yet to see on our show, folks, is the car of tomorrow. Although, believe me when I say it, I would love to see them pop up with those things. Just get all our mission to see all the series and all the tracks and all the races we can is still at hand. We are not anywhere near done with that stuff. Looking through our list right now. Nope, they didn't give me a car of tomorrow this season. Come on. But they did give us the BMW M4 G3, so that'll be a new one to see. VW Jettas as well will be another new one. And of course, my favorite out of the new series we'll see, which will be the Formula Vs, at least race-wise. And then one race I think in particular we're going to keep our eye on, November 1st. Watch out for that one. Super late models, Hickory Motor Speedway. Do I need to say more? I think that should be a good one there. It'll definitely be an interesting showcase to see the famous track that has been a landmark for many fields out there and many people that have dared walk through its corners and walk through its path. But right now, currently, the Boulder City Taylor, not thinking about that, not thinking about anything else other than just trying to get to the front and get to the top. She is a former Pushing Limits Racing Team champion in this event, in this series. She's won here many times. As a matter of fact, brother Keith, who unfortunately right now is a couple laps down and a few laps short of trying to fight it out again. He is in the very back of the end, but the first time we ever watched these drivers race it out, it was in the 1987 Ford Thunderbirds and Chevy Monte Carlos. They actually had a pretty good race there with Keith managing to walk away with the W that night. Everybody's still jockeying for positions, looking for openings, looking for some holes, looking to see if maybe they can just kind of plug that hole and plug the truck back down in. Every driver for themselves. No friends around here. You better not be trying to make friends. Oh, and I don't think you want to be doing that around here, Miss Chantel. She had that front bumper licking the rear end, the bumper of Robert Kahn. It was pushing, it was shoving. You could say it was pushing some limits. Okay, I'll stop. Well, I guess it might be working though, because that 3 of Robert Kahn, he's actually getting a little run down there. His old rival and nemesis in the 5, Chantel Bottle, helping him out just enough to push him ahead, and he takes the race lead away from Nick Kern. Kern going up deck to the top. Looks like Robert Kahn's going back up there. I think he got kind of cold feet up there. He was like, wait a minute, I don't want to go down there and try to deal with Kern. I'd rather go back and deal with that number 5. At least I know how she runs. Well, you also forgot about one thing right beside you there, my friends. The number 12, here comes Brandon Pike, the Monster Energy Beast, wants to put the Chevrolet ahead. 3 wide salute into turn 3. And the Marlboro 099 and Wally Babb kind of also pinching and closing his way in. There is just so much at stake here, a lot of going down. This is where I was kind of hoping these trucks would get interesting at, is those that took the fuel run and those who took the fuel mileage, and which one would make the mistake and which one would give the opportunity for one of them to strike while the iron is hot. On board camera here with Dustin Soldaker, and talk about watching through a whole new lens of this Spectrum. Man, this is a whole different looking kind of truck compared to what we usually see. I've actually got to hop in and actually get in one of these trucks in real life actually, and I can tell you, they look absolutely nothing like the actual Gander outdoor trucks they have today. I didn't get to hop in any of those. They wouldn't let me in Knoxville. Well, right now, Lee Pastor Paul saying, come on, Chantel, put the pedal to the metal. Go, go, go. Well, right now, your girl is putting a pedal to the metal. She's got it on the side of that truck, for crying out loud. She is giving it everything she can, but she has still got a lot of company right behind her as into the closer Taylor. Going to be pretty much left high and dry. She had a run, but a little 3 wide salute engages for the number 5. Chantel almost takes the bumper to the corner. I don't know how she didn't get spun around, but my goodness. It worked out in all their offense. Great maneuver there by the 5, but it just was not enough. Cindy the Closer Taylor managing to dive down back in. The ladies are starting to show the men who's the boss. And that's the one thing you don't want to have, fellas. You better be careful about that, because if those ladies team up, watch out. They know how to drive this track, and they know how to put a bumper to you. They have to. Nick Kern, though, I think at this point, I don't even think he realized like what's going on. I think he's just so focused on that one line. I think he's almost got like just binoculars set on the yellow line. That's the only thing he's literally watching right now. He doesn't even care what everyone else is doing. He is literally just watching the bottom end of the track and watching that yellow line conforming and making sure he does not get in anybody's way. He doesn't mess with anybody. He just keeps his speed, keeps his distance. Obviously, can't really social distance around here, though. Obviously, that would have been a nice little thing or two, maybe a little while ago. But, man, talk about just being absolutely consistent and managing your control and managing yourself up. That's a 51 Sprite machine of Eric Gann. Looks like he was saving up his finisher. He was saving for a charge. And now he looks to do it here as they come down into turn 3. He's got a full throttle assault engaged. You can actually see him kind of backing off a little bit. I think he's trying to save and conserve. It looks like Eric Gann is going to get ahead of Nick Kern here. It looks like Skern and Sornicker are heading into pit road. Hoffert, Stanley Powell, Todd Tufts, Keith Taylor, and Phillip Brown all kind of in a bit of a pickle here. They're all way back in the field. That's why you're not seeing them anywhere near the top half here. 15 laps remain. That second big wreck, I think, really cost a lot of those guys there more than anything. I don't even think they realized like what it did to them until it was too little, too late. Pit road strategies are certainly going to be tested here tonight. Let's take a look at our pit stop length here. Now, this is right now. You're seeing the yellow and the blue. That is the separation on when they went into pit road versus when they came out of pit road. Have a look at this. Cindy Taylor, she goes for a quick stop and then goes for a long run. Chantel Powell, she's going for a very long run and maybe a bit of a mistake. Oh, or maybe not a mistake. Big wreck right behind him and just barely swerves around. Holy cow. Torrey Thompson, the 88, gets involved in this one, and I think he may have got the worst end of the spectrum here. A big wreck there for the 88 machine, unfortunately, and that slows down everything he had built up. Let's take a look at the PT Mr. Replay. Have a look at this one. That was a wild, wild little wreck there, to say the least. Well, that's two wild wrecks we've seen now tonight. Have a look at this. The 88. He's got to run. He finds a seam. But look at this. Wally Babb gets a little piece from the rattlesnake rubber con, and I gotta say, that is impressive driving and control there by the 88 to manage to stay away from getting into more trouble than he was already in. He managed a very clean-cut corner slide, managing to get that thing to dive back down and dive into the field. Look at it. Watch this. You see that? Number 3, he gets cut off, and he was like, I'm not giving my speed up for nothing. You're having to go around me. He thought he might have had an opening, but that was very aggressive driving there by the number 3. You don't think maybe he's taking lessons from the driver that actually drove that thing? I wonder. I believe when we get back to the restart here, there'll only be about 11 laps remaining. Currently, Cindy Taylor, Chantel Pottle heading into pit road. Kahn, Pike, Gann, Babb, everybody looks like they're going to go for a pit stop here, except, of course, for Nick Kern. It looks like his pit strategy actually may have been a saving grace, because really, if it weren't for the fact that he went in when he did, he may have had a little bit of a hard time getting up to the front end of the spectrum. But the 66 of Dustin Sonaker will be right behind him, and if there's one thing we know about old Sparky down there, is you cannot count out Dustin Sonaker no matter where you go. This man, I'm telling you folks, he is a sleeping giant. Now you're probably wondering, oh, what the heck am I talking about? He can be a sleeper hit for many reasons, but the reason I call him a sleeping giant, he has this tendency where if he can get this thing dialed in and he get a nice little bit of control under the hood, he can really start to hammer away on the final laps. He saves up enough fuel, saves up enough tires Just outlast the field. Stay out on the track. Don't worry about anybody else's strategy or what they're doing. Just go out and run only what he can do and what he knows. And the thing is, it's worked. We've seen him win twice on our show. I've actually had to race him at Bristol Motor Speedway in the NASCAR 84 days. I'll tell you one thing. He was tough to beat when we had to go in for pit road, and a lot of us had to go in for fuel and tires. Whereas Dustin, he didn't worry about that. He wasn't worried about any of that nonsense. All he cared about was just driving the track and doing his own thing, and that's exactly what he did. At Michigan, he did the same exact thing. He watched the time, he was being very patient, and like a sleeping giant, when he awoke, he pretty much just hammered it down and took it all away. He does have 2 victories in the Pedal to the Metal Racing League Series, but none in the Pushing Limits Series. He told me earlier today, though, as I talked with him, he's like, yeah, I know about that, but I'm not really too worried about it. I just want to try and enjoy myself, you know, and go out and have fun. That's really what this is all about for these guys. Man, they're just out to have fun. There's nothing on the line. There is points. There's no trophy. There's nothing major up for grabs. It's all a good time and a good show. Although there is a little piece of hardware out there I believe they're going for. So that might just be what I'm hearing. I have no clue on that one for sure. But nevertheless, field is ready. It looks like to stretch back out. I think they'll go one more lap around, and then they will then inevitably throw the green out. So again, 11 laps will remain. There it is. Double file them up there. Sparky and Feel the Burn. Nick Kern will go at it once again, but right behind them. Remember what I said earlier about the ladies. Chantel Bottle is the hard charger of the night. She's up 5 spots. Currently streaming up on our Puddles Racing end here. Currently, she is looking to try and put a little bit more power under the hood for that number 5. As Cindy, the closer Taylor, in the Gatorade 07 will look to do the same. But again, even more heavy hitters right behind the ladies. Matthew Hoff for the 84. Never count that man out. He can take this one and send it to victory lane quicker than you know it. He has a race win at Talladega. He won back in the very first race in Xfinity Series we saw earlier this year. He got that victory, and under probably the craziest of circumstances. And tonight he's looking to do what he did back in PT Racing League here on the Pushing Limits Racing League end of the spectrum. So here we go. Field ready to burn it down. Field ready to go back in action, back on the track and hammer it away. Oh, you can feel the intensity. You can cut it with a knife here on PC Racing TV, where we go 10 laps to go with Pushing Limits Racing League. You know, just like any other race at Talladega, they tighten those belts up just a little tighter. The nerves start kicking in a little bit more. I wish I could get a heart rate on these guys like NBC has figured out how to do. Somebody please tell iRacing to let us have that in this now, please. The emotions start to thrill, and the game plan looks to go in for the kill. Here we go. They will lane them off onto the front straightaway. This time by race fans, it's time to get back down to the action, get back down to the chaos, the madness to be. It is racing here at Talladega Superspeedway, back for Pushing Limits Racing League season opener of Season 3. It's off and running to the races. Let's get down to it. Outside already, Kahn and Taylor will try to work with each other and help each other out a little bit. Taylor is out of proportion to get into the victory lane. He's already a couple laps down. Nothing he can do about that. But there's one thing he can do is help out the rattlesnake Robert Kahn and maybe give him one thing to think about. Kahn's got quite a few victories in the Talladega tracks. He's looking to do it again here as Dustin Sornaker opens a door up there for the closer. Cindy Taylor runs on the outside. 3 wide saloon down the back straightaway. This is risky territory, though. You got to be careful about that. You got to watch yourself. Here they come now, down out of turn 4. Clean. Keep it low, Tori. Don't watch out down there, buddy. You can see the field starting to double up a little bit. Looks like Robert Kahn trying to drive the extreme outside line. He wants to move it ahead of the entire field, but that's right where you can get into trouble territory. The 3 with the ultimate of bushes. The 08 helping him through. They'll lead him off out of the outside. Tandem draft in between Robert Kahn and Checkmate Taylor leads him up to the top spot. But Cindy Taylor and Brandon Pike close that door real fast. Oh my. That's what you call literally being self-aware and making sure you're clear of your surroundings. He had nothing left to do there but just get out of that mess. All right, as Carson turns it over. Oh my! Oh my! And a big wreck right out of turn 3 once more. Nick Kern crashed in and taken for a ride. The throttle Chantel Otto and Dustin Sonaker in this one. Sparky getting a piece of the action. Stanley Pottle crashed. Oh man, are you kidding me? Well, the good news is I still have an instant repair left over for them all, but I got a feeling they are not too thrilled about that one. Let's find out what happened here. This was a hard lick and wreck, to say the least. Let's take a look from our chopper cam. Trying to see if maybe there was just a little bit too quick of maneuvering here. You're going to see right as they enter into turn 3, right about now. Looks like Chantel just slightly drifts down. Kern was slightly drifting up. And remember what I said earlier about those trucks feeling like boats to drive out on the track? That happens. Unfortunately, just a racing ordeal. Not much you can do about that. Again, it is Talladega. And again, we are driving equipment that is a lot harder to control than you realize. Again, these drivers may be looking a little easy. This is not easy. I'm going to tell you that right now. These things are not easy. I only got 1 win on these things in an official race. And that was back at Daytona. And this just goes to show you how quick, how sudden you can, in a blink of an eye, be in the race lead and really dominating. To just trying to figure out what the heck did I do with my chances to do with my life here? How did I do to deserve this? Dustin seriously is not going to try to drive that thing like that, is he? Yep, he is. He's all out of instant repairs, it appears, and honestly, I'm kind of baffled right now how the heck he's even going to be able to get that thing to last out and even work as well as it's going to. He's going to have to literally tow that thing around the track if he wants any chance. I have said before, though, we've seen crazier things happen on PTM Racing TV. From our 1/10 of 1,000 finishes, twice, I may add, in a single season for one series, to our absolute enjoyment of watching a driver going from 15th to a 1st in a matter of 10 laps without any crashes and literally passing the whole field in between, to even then just the overall madness and chaos that drivers bring to the table time and time again. That's why you just gotta keep an eye out and watch the motorsport action when it comes down to it. And Cindy Taylor, she's been in this predicament before. She knows what it's like to be in this shot making position. This is the Game 7 pass to the touchdown zone. This is literally the opportunistic end of the spectrum. This is where no man or woman goes to play unless they absolutely have to. And these next couple laps, they're going to have to push everything they got to this. Well, I guess since we are waiting around, though, we're kind of letting the drivers get figured out in. I did say earlier on there might be a little story I could tell you about the first race here at Talladega. Well, let me give you a little inside clue on that, what happened. So, as I mentioned before, Big Bill France, he was the man that built and created Talladega. Now, again, you got to understand something. This track is 2.5 plus miles in length. It's 2.65 miles in length. Its bankings are higher than Daytona. It is larger than Daytona. It is literally the fastest and biggest track in the entire world. But with that comes expenses and prices. And Big Phil France had to literally fork over and go completely almost belly up just to get this track set. And when they did, it was almost real close to the day they were supposed to actually race it. So what happened was, this is where the story gets interesting. When drivers came onto the track and finally got to engage on it, They ran on Daytona setups and all that, but there's one thing that they didn't realize. The tires were not able to handle the speeds and the power that this track had at its disposal. They would literally tear up tires left and right, where they were pretty much just non-existent after maybe like 4 or 5 laps. They would just they'd be shredded up, and again, those tires are your lifeline, back in those days especially. So what happened next is they got the drivers all into the track and onto the field, and they said point blank, we're not going to run. And then what happened next was just a event of lies, deceit, and really just all out madness, which even included the union trying to bust in and try to help out the cause, end up failing to do so. And that's kind of why we don't have a union in NASCAR, for those at home that are wondering about that. But when all was said and done, at the end of the day, they had done everything they could to try to get the race postponed, or they would have to find another way to get tires on the track. And what ended up happening is only 3 drivers, yes, I said 3 competitive drivers, got on the track and raced that day that the season opening went. So how the heck did Bill France actually make his money back and keep fans to come back to Talladega? Well, other than the story kind of getting a little loopy, there was still the one thing that Bill did own and have was, of course, Daytona. So he basically told the fans out there, hey, you come to this race and pay your tickets. That ticket, you keep it, you're good to go at Daytona as well. So not only did he make his money back, but he also made a little bit them some back by pretty much having everyone show up to watch that race. And only 3 competitive Cup cars took to the stage, while the drivers of the lower end division actually just jumped right in and raced with them. Yeah, if you can believe it, that's how the story goes. I'm not lying to you as well. You can go look it up on YouTube. It is actually there. Look up the story of Talladega. You may see it as the worst NASCAR race of all time. Slaps just did a really good video about it, but I encourage you to watch that one as much as I encourage you to watch the actual story that was driven by the man himself, Nelson Burton, for telling and recapitulating that story and kind of explaining what happened that night, that day and time. It's just a wild story, and honestly, it may leave your jaws dropped a little bit, or if you're Bill France that day, might be a little bit of a sore jaw for a while, but that's beyond the point. Let's get back down to the action, race fans. We have got 6 laps to go. Story time over. The only story we need to tell is what's going on down here between the Pushing Limits Racing League Truck Series and the final 6 to 5 laps they will engage for the race. Tammy Thompson Amadio coming on board here. She's rooting off for Tori Thompson. Got the thumbs up going for him. He's rocking in 5th place right now, the 88. Looking for an opening, looking for a charge. Everybody hard on the gas, hard on the throttle, coming down that back straightaway. They're getting a little bit loopier than a kid going under for a little pulling of the teeth there. Kind of laughing the trucks off and laughing them off down the corners as they lean them off throughout a turn 4. The number 07, Cindy the Colton Taylor, still your race leader. Kind of following the footsteps of her brother Keith Checkmate Taylor and what he did just a couple of seasons ago. Off the corners of the crux to the front straightaway. 5 laps to go. No more holding back now. It's do or do not time. There's a lot at stake and there's a lot going down in these drivers' minds. I guarantee it. They're just thinking more and more. Do not touch, but try to find a way to build some speed up around the corners and around those turns. Those straightaways are not going to be your saving grace. Those turns will be. That's where you can catch them. That's where you can get the speed built on up. Looks like Jeffrey Todd Tuss and Nick Kerner are going to try to deliver the 3-line choo-choo Talladega Daytona draft train. All aboard, my friends. We've got 3, about 4. Here comes Dustin Sonaker. Sparky trying to see if he can get an opening or 2 in there between with these guys, looking for a little bit of a shot. No man left that high, no woman left behind. Everybody is in this one to the very end. Leading off the charge right now, Brandon Pike, the number 12 Monster Energy Beast, is trying to get ahead of the Gatorade machine of the 07 Cindy Taylor. He is moving, he is charging, he is hustling. You can guarantee it, he is going to look for that opening on the outside line out of turn 4. That's generally where most drivers will play it safe and make the run off of. Corey Thompson not doing too bad either for himself right now. The 88 trying to rock a little military up and charge ahead. The 84 Matthew Hoffer looks like he's also kind of intervening, man. These guys are just all over the place trying to find an opening, trying to find a spot, trying to find a leg. Oh, but the set can't be set for Keith Chuckmate Taylor in the 6'9" Nick Kern. A little bump and rub there on the front straightaway. They collide there, but managing to keep the trucks online at least. Chantel Throttle now about 2 laps down. She's trying to hard charge it up and get one last break in between. She's got to be careful down there though. 3 to go, leading it into the final 2. What will become of this? What will we see? No room for error here. It's either survive and conquer or get out of the way. 3 trucks, 4 trucks. Wait a minute, where the heck did Stanley Bottle come in? The 48 place seat is starting to move ahead. I don't know how he's even holding that thing down or keeping up with the field, but he's looking for a race win to be his first one of his career. Can he do it? He's got a lot of momentum built up. He's trying to get the draft out, Torrey Thompson, but he's slowing him up a little bit. The 51 of Eric Gann trying to get ahead of him, trying to knock him down a few pegs. This is where things get interesting. The final 2 laps. Last time we saw the green flag fly. This time we see a white flag pop up. Eric Gann going for the outside, looking for the run. Can't get the speed built up, and now even Phillip Brown is starting to maybe move and groove it up to the front end of the charge. Eric looking behind him. Robert Kahn, you see him trying. He's stirring the pot a little bit. He wants to go the outside. He wants some runs and momentum. Oh, but that can't be set for Phillip Brown. Caution. Slow down, buddy. Back it. Yes, there you go. Woo-hoo. Oh, well, we're going to a green-white checkered finish here, folks. Caution called right as they was going in. They have 3 green-white checkers, by the way. That's the amount of attempts they will be given before this one is called over and done. Here's what happened. Down the front straightaway, and again, this is where things just got a little bit hectic here. Stanley goes down the yellow, backs off, and, well, to be honest with you, I've been in Phillip Brown's shoes before. I don't think I need to say anything else besides the fact on the same spot, on the same part of the track, and the same track of all things, I've done the exact same thing Phillip did. The only difference is he didn't wreck the entire field like I did. So I'll give him credit where credit is due, because honestly, it is very difficult not to wreck someone out here when he gets to the very end of this one. So a 3 lap to go there on your screen, but it's only going to be 2 laps to go. It's a green-white checkered attempt. We've been down this road before. We've seen this happen before plenty of times. It pops up more times than we know or we care to count. We've seen it all the time, and we've seen it many times before, but will it happen again? Kevin Crawford coming on board now, saying it's going to be a wild finish here. Oh, you have no idea there, my friend. And remember, they only get 3 green-white checkers, and some of them have damaged up too much of their stuff here, and they have cost themselves too much time to get the instant repairs out. So if they have dinged anything up on these trucks or dinged anything up on them, well, they have no chance to get this one cleared in time. Man, what a race, what a night it has been. Again, some awesome moments and some incredible battles, and honestly, some absolute shockers. Again, I was not expecting Stanley Bottle to be 6 spots up right now, almost hard charging. Torrey Thompson, you know, give the man his credit, give the man his due. We've seen this before, where he's been able to actually hang pace and hang tight with the entire field and actually put up quite a fight out there. You know, is he going to be able to do it again, though? That's going to be the main thing we're going to have to watch out for. He's yet to get that victory that he's been looking for. He's yet to get that win. I think that changes here tonight if he can get it dialed in now. Don't mind that little buzzer beater there, a little noise you heard. Unfortunately, that was a little bit of a Discord channel kind of popping up. That's one thing about live television you gotta love is when the old live feeds and little buzzer sounds and clickers go off. Yeah, the good news is we don't have to worry about hearing the you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, this show may not be right for you. Okay, I'm just kidding. It's getting right. Looks like it's gonna be a white flag now, or white flag. Excuse me. They're gonna bring down the lights on the pace truck to then get to the green white flag checkered finish. You've never been on a show before and you have no idea what's going on right now. When you hit the spark and you only have 2 laps left to go, what they does is they'll go 1 lap around under green, 1 lap around on a white, and then 1 lap around on a checkered. They have 3 attempts to do this. Tammy Thompson Amodio saying, yes, he can. Go Torrey. Go Tor. Well, 88, looks like you got some love in the crowd here tonight, my friend. You got some fans in the stands. They want to see you do it. Can he do it? Can we see Stanley Bottle maybe get his very first win ever on PT Racing TV? He's never even won, I believe, at all on the iRacing circuit. I don't think he's got even 1 victory, and this would be a huge stepping stone and maybe the biggest win of his career if he can do it. All we can say is, though, folks, be warned and be ready. You will see drivers being pushed to their limits and tested fully, not just physically, but a little bit mentally. And there is one track. I'm not going to give it away yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to wait as long as I can, but there is one track that is only 4 laps long. I'm not going to say what it is, but to the iRacing community, they probably know what it is or have an idea or a clue. It's just a very long track, and it's a circuit we've never seen before. And they're going to be running the interesting BMW series on that one. So be warned and be ready. It is coming very, very soon in the next couple months. So don't tell you I didn't warn you, because that one may be an interesting one to call. And it's going to certainly be a very fun one to see, to believe. But right now, 14 of the best. Pushing limits all on the lead lap now. All looking and searching. One last hard charge. Pace truck off out of turn 4 this time by. This is what you come to see. This is what we come from. All walks of life, all miles around. This is where the game plays. This is where the hardest throwing, toughest drivers take to the sim, take to the show. The iRacers of Pushing Limits looking to finish out the Season 3 opener. They better be careful down there. One more big wreck, and that could cost them a chance to finish it. Here we go, off the start to the starting line. They are green flag racing. 3 wide salute out of the gate, and I don't know if that was exactly what Robert Kahn was hoping for out of that spot. He kind of got caught in the mix, I think. They come out clean. No one goes unscathed. Everyone come down unscathed. That's the good news. Stanley Bottle going out the outside. I don't think he's trying to move in quickly. I think he's trying to let everyone else have a little fight or a little go around. Maybe he's thinking if they wreck each other, he'll have a shot at this. I mean, maybe not be a bad idea. I usually don't say that it's a good idea, but actually I will say it's not a bad strategy when you think about it. We don't know what they'll do up front. Torrey Thompson, though, we do know one thing. He's setting up the run on Cindy. Looking for the opportunity to strike, looking for the opportunity to make the move. Coming down and around. They will hammer it off into the corners and into position here. They will now initiate to the white flag this time by. White flag is out. No more chances at a caution. Oh, no, 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 no! Big wreck right behind them. 4 trucks involved in this one. Sonaker, Chantel Otto, Philip Brown, and Keith Taylor all crashed in. That means this pack right here is leading their charge to the finish line. But which one will get there first? Robert Kahn just sends it straight in the middle and sends the whole field screaming out of control. They cleared out of the field. What is Stanley Bottle doing? What is he doing? They hit the 84 and bumped it straight into the corner down to the end zone. They'll lead him off out of the turn 4 here. 3 wide salute to the end. They're going to come across the finish line into Ted Heath. Rocking it away. Eric Gant's going to run. He's going to see, but here comes the Kerr on the outside to the finish line. And it's Nick Kern by half a truck length, just barely edging out Eric G. Gant. What a finish. Wow, that's Talladega for you, folks. Oh my goodness. The madness just never seems to end, and I guess there is no better way to start the season off than with a race victory from a former winner looking to get that first season championship under his belt. There he is, race fans. Your Season 3 opener for Pushing Limits Racing League and the NASCAR Legacy Truck Series winner, Nick Kill the Burn Kern. He's got to be pumped up in that truck, I guarantee you that right now. You can see him just kind of diving the speed off a little bit. He sees the checker, he knows he came across the line first. There it is. We were waiting for those burnouts. He's got a nice little burnout going there. Okay, showing you a little bit of what he does on the dirt track while you're at it there. Although you don't swing it to the left there, folks. You swing it to the right on a dirt track. Just a heads up. That's all I got to say about that. What a day and what a night here, and a great race to start the new season off. And the thing is, folks, we're just getting started. There is so much more to talk about and so much more to see in the coming weeks. Here is our race results now popping up on your screen, presented by Pushing Limits Racing League. Nick Feel the Burn Kern wins it by about 300ths of a second there to Eric G. Gant, a half a truck length to the end of the line. Third going to Brandon Pike, fourth to Cindy the Closer Taylor, fifth to Stanley Chadwick Otto. Best finish he's had in a very long time. Good driving by the number 48 for the 5th place spot. Matthew Hoffer, great showing from him once more. 7th to Jeffrey Todd Tufts. 8th goes to Wally Babb. 9th going to Robert the Rattlesnake Khan. 10th to Philip Brown. Good. 11th to Chantel the Throttle Paddle. 12th to Tori Thompson. 13th to Dustin Sonaker. Keith Checkmate Taylor in 14th, rounding out your field here tonight. Woo, boy, we have finished this one out, and race fans, it's time to bring him in. Let's go ahead and talk with him right now, and I believe I got Brandon Pike on the line here for our 3rd place finisher. Is that you, Pike?
I'm here. How's it going?
It's him, ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finish here tonight. Brandon Pike and the Monster Energy Beast certainly put up a fight to the very end, and I know you had a little bit of a scruffle there with Cindy Taylor coming to the line. How was that going there, buddy?
Oh, yeah, it was good. Seeing that she was running down low, and she kind of came up, got into me a little bit, and that's always fun at Talladega, so just a little bumping and banging at the end, so definitely something to push for. It was definitely a good race. First time ever racing one of these cars, too.
Is it the first time racing one of these things?
Oh, yeah, that's the first time I've ever been in one.
Oh, man, you're missing out if you've never been in one of these things. They are wild. They're frenetic, and they can be a lot of fun, but you definitely seem to hold the line down at least and keep everything going good for you.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a fun race. Awesome time.
Indeed, indeed, my friend. But nevertheless, we do want to ask you real quick, who got you here to the top 3, and who do you want to thank for this one tonight?
I want to thank my wife, y'all, for letting me into the league, and, you know, it's an awesome league to join into, so thank y'all for that.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, my friend, it has been a pleasure to have you on board once again. Pike, congratulations on a third-place finish here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third-place finisher here tonight, Mr. Brandon Pike, walking away with a strong finish there. As we now bring in the man with the RC controller to his hand, that is Eric G. Gann, and the 51 machine here tonight, pulling off a great finish and a hard run to the end, but Kern just got a little bit on you there, bud. What happened?
I wasn't expecting nothing there. I was just, kind of riding in the back, kind of watching all the things happen. And then there at the end, I kind of got slowed up a little bit because my shifting was off. I don't know what else to do. So I just kind of stayed there. And I got a good draft there at the end. And then Kern was behind me. So I knew he was going to do the same way. So I was just waiting for it.
You certainly were indeed, but I mean, nevertheless, you still put up a great show and good fight. If there was anything you could have done differently, though, would you have tried to done anything different to hold back that 69 or try to fight anybody else off a little harder?
No, I was just riding. Typical plate racing.
Yep, you certainly did a little typical plate racing and showed you could still hang with the best, no matter what track or surface you're on. So, Gann, I got to ask you, my friend, you're walking away with a second place finish here tonight. Is there anybody you want to thank here tonight for this finish?
Oh, yeah, the group that I hang out with the most, Dirt Bag Racing. We do a lot of dirt street stock racing, enduros and stuff like that. And guys have been a great bunch to hang out with.
I certainly think they are very proud of you tonight here, not just on the dirt, but on the asphalt series end of the spectrum. So, again, I thank you for joining us here tonight, buddy, and congratulations on that second place finish.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric G. Gann, your second place finisher here tonight in the number 51. And technically, we're supposed to be talking with Nick Kern right now, but Mr. Feel the Burn seems to be off the road right now. I don't know where the heck he is at here. I don't know. Maybe we can get in touch with him a different way here. Hold on. Give me one moment, folks. We're going to try and get a hold of this guy. It's one thing we're known for. It's trying to get a hold of people. That's for sure. All right, Nick Kern, you got a copy there, buddy?
Yeah. Yep, gotcha.
He's got a copy with us right here, right now, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner at Talladega at the Pushing Limits Racing League, Nick Kern in the house. And Kern, congratulations on that victory, man. You had a lot going down for you, a lot really charging ahead. You had a lot to deal with, of course, with Mr. Eric G. Gann to the line, but by half a truck length, you managed to pull it off, buddy.
Yeah, let's just say that last lap, I never thought any of that would have been able to been pulled off, but I'll take it. I mean, like I said, I didn't think I had that much of a run, but yeah, like I said, I'll take that one.
Take it, man. Take it every one you can get. That's what I've always been taught, and it's Talladega. I mean, there's not a lot of ways to take a win then to just really bypass everybody else. So, but my friend, you're the season 3 opener victor here tonight at Talladega. I gotta ask you, who you got you here, and who do you want to thank?
Well, there's everyone at PTM. Got to thank also my team, Tug Stiff Board Racing. Of course, for building me a fast truck. Yeah, all the sponsors involved, everybody involved with PTM, all the drivers, and of course you, Crusader.
I appreciate your time here tonight, Nick. Congratulations once again, my friend, and hope to see you very, very soon on the track, my friend.
Oh, for sure, bud.
All right, take it easy down there, buddy.
Have a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Feel the Burn Kern, your winner here tonight in that X-Side 69. And race fans, that will conclude tonight's action here, presented, of course, by Pushing Limits Racing League. The Season 3 opener has begun. But let me tell you something, a lot more at stake and a lot more to show. All in due time will we show. For now, please be safe. God bless. Take care. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for tuning in. I love you guys. I'll see you when the green flag flies next time on PTM Race TV.